Hello and welcome to South Seattle College. This orientation is to give you information on how to obtain your accommodations from the Disability Services Office. The first step to receiving disability services is to complete the intake with our office. Students must provide documentation of their disability, which includes the functional impact of the disability or how it will affect you in the educational setting. Students are asked to complete a short intake form, which includes a section for them to make a request for specific accommodations. The student then meets with the DS director to discuss their requested accommodations. If the requested accommodation is supported by the documentation and student information, an accommodation form will be issued for the student to give to their instructors. We recommend that students meet with instructors in private to discuss how the accommodations will be provided for each class. If there are any concerns during this process, students should notify the DS office as soon as possible. At the beginning of each quarter, students pick up their accommodation forms in the DS office. They do not need to complete the intake process again. If they need any changes in their accommodations, they would discuss this with the DS director. Additional documentation may be needed if the request is not supported by the original documentation. Most of the accommodations provided include testing accommodations. Typically, if a student has an accommodation for more time on exams, they would take the exam in the DS office. We ask that students sign up at least 48 hours in advance so we may plan appropriately. Generally, it's best to take the exam as close to the time the class is taking it as possible. The instructor drops off the tests in the DS office, completes a form that lists any items that may be used on the test, and then picks it up when completed. In some cases, the instructor may provide the accommodations in the classroom. This is fine as long as the accommodations may be provided in the classroom setting. For online classes, the accommodation form may be sent by the DS office directly to the instructor. The student would then follow up with the instructor to discuss how the accommodations will be provided. At any point in the accommodation process, if the student has any concerns or if accommodations are not being provided as stated, the student should contact the DS office right away so that we may help to resolve the matter. So that is the basic accommodation process. If you have any questions, please contact our office. Thank you.